Hey there everyone, Aiden here from Push Square, and today I have a whole ton of information to get through regarding the PSVR2. Sony done its usual thing and just sort of dumped so much information on a couple of blog posts. I don't know why you wouldn't make a bigger deal out of all this, but anyway, it's Sony. They're going to do what they're going to do. So we've got a few things to run through though. Price points, release dates, pre-order dates, and some new games that are coming to the platform. A lot of really exciting information, so let's just get into it. To start things off, the PlayStation VR2 will be available from February 22nd, 2023. So really not that far away, just a few months from now. And I was really expecting them to push the bracket of that early 2023, but February's really not that far away, so I'm really excited for this. And if you're interested in pre-ordering, you can register for pre-orders from today on the PlayStation Store. If you're a PlayStation user, you may have already got an email inviting you to register for pre-order. Check your emails, that may be in there, and then the actual pre-orders go live on November 15th. But let's go into the price. It's going to be a big sticking point for some people. A lot of people will be disappointed by this, and it was a little bit higher than I had personally expected to start. So the PSVR 2 will retail for $550, 600 euros, and £530 here in the UK. So that is more expensive than the PlayStation 5 itself, which is the big surprise, but I do really struggle to say that that's a really unreasonable number, just because when I look at some other tech in the space, primarily the Meta Quest 2, the higher end storage options are costing £500 now here in the UK. Now of course that is an increased price, we got about £100 added onto that. And you may argue you only need the Meta Quest, but we are taking a big step forward in terms of the quality and the tech within VR. We've got 4K, HDR, foveated rendering, haptic feedback, finger touch sensations, eye tracking. A lot of really cool features that are pushing the tech forward in a way that the Meta Quest doesn't. So yeah, it's a hard one though. It will definitely be a hard number to bring in those new VR users, but I think for a lot of us that have used VR and are really into VR, it's not going to put you off, I wouldn't say anyway. Now, on launch there will be two bundles available, or two different packages you can pick up. The first being just the basic PSVR 2 bundle, that was the prices that I just mentioned there. But moving into some other options, we have the Horizon Call of the Mountain bundle. Now this is a little bit more expensive. We're talking $600 in the US, 650 euros in Europe, and £570 here in the UK. But of course that comes with Horizon Call of the Mountain, confirming that it will be a launch title, so therefore a big pull for a lot of people, I would imagine. In addition to this, we also got the announcement of the PSVR 2 Sense Controller Charger Station. It's supposed to have a simple click-on design. Hopefully it's a little better than some of the other charging stations we've seen in the past, which I've always found to be quite finicky trying to plug in. It's not necessary, of course, you can still just use your USB to charge it, but it might make your setup look a little sleeker. Now this will go for $50, 50 euros, and £40. Moving on though, we got quite a few announcements of some games. Some of these will be launch titles, some of them will come after, so it is varying. Let's run through some of these right now. We have one of the headliners, the announcement of the Dark Pictures Switchback VR. Now this is a spiritual successor to Until Dawn Rush of Blood. It's an on-rail shooter, horror obviously. It looks really great. I think the HDR's going to really help with the moody look and the dark shadows, all of this sort of stuff. I think it could be great. We then also have Crossfire Sierra Squad and the Light Brigade, two shooters, one being a single player roguelike and the other being a tactical shooter. Shooters really do have the potential in my mind to make such a jump. We've obviously had a couple of hints and teases for Firewall Ultra. I'm really excited to see what this new generation of VR does for the shooter genre. We then have Cities VR, which is a VR port of a previous game called Cities Skyline. might be your kind of thing. Very interesting. We've got Cosmonius High, a very colourful looking VR game. Hello Neighbour, Search and Rescue. Like Hello Neighbour makes my heart go so fast, so playing it in VR, I genuinely not even sure that I could do it all too much, but you know, I'll try it out. We've got Jurassic World Aftermath Collection, Pistol Whip, a fantastic game, and this does bring me on to something that was very interesting about this. There's a few different games among these announcements that are actually cross-gen releases, so they are available for PSVR and PSVR2. It's surprising to me in a way that Sony aren't just completely abandoning the PSVR, and not in a way that I'm disappointed by that. I just got the impression that we were moving on. We are VR2 now, you know, we're not looking back. So it's nice to see that it's not being completely abandoned. And then for a game like Pistol Whip, we're getting an enhanced edition, SSD improvements for loading times, haptic feedback. This will also be a free upgrade if you previously owned it. So that, while not exactly the best solution, it's going to ease the suffering for a lot of people that were really disappointed with the lack of backwards compatibility. Also, if you've not tried it out, Pistol Whip, very, very good. We've also got Zenith The Last City, After the Fall, and Tentacular. So a lot of different, like, varied type of games, in addition to some of those that we already know about. Of course, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Resident Evil Village. We didn't get confirmed release dates on quite a lot of these, so it is going to be a question of the nature of the launch. How many games will we actually have? Sony have said they're planning for around 20 on launch. So it is going to depend. For a lot of people, it might be worth waiting a little bit till the library beefs up. We see that at the beginning of almost every generation. PS4, PS5, maybe the libraries are lacking a little bit. We'll just need to see. Of course though, I am very keen to know your reaction to all of this. What do you think of the price? Are you considering pre-ordering? Do you think there are enough games announced? I'll leave a link down in the description for the games that they have announced so you can have a closer look. But I'm genuinely interested to see whether you think this is shaping up in the way that you were hoping, or it's a bit of a letdown so far. But anyway guys, if you would like to see more PlayStation VR 2 content and anything else PlayStation related, please consider liking the video, that really helps us out, and subscribing to the channel. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you here next time. See ya.